Finally! Never give up! Never give up! Ah!
When I fish like him, you know I'm fishing hard. You might just wanna sit it on. Going out, every time I'm rolling up into my spot, I get so hyped up. I think I'm going out. I got one goal, and that's gold. If we ain't into fish, then we're hitting the road. I live the life of a fisherman that never gets old. So welcome to the show. Come on, yo, we're going out.
You know, I gotta tell you, I've been fishing my whole entire life, and I'm more excited about the kayak movement than anything else. Fishing out of a kayak brings me back to when I was a kid, when I was fishing a lot of the shallow water in South Jersey, the excitement of catching them. Kayak fishing is opening up a whole new world of fishing opportunities to a lot of people. One of the shows I wanted to film in a kayak was a saltwater show. So looking at the calendar, I saw one of the biggest events in the world for kayak fishing, Hobie Worlds 6. The 6th World Championship for Hobie Kayak Anglers. You know, this event brings anglers from all over the world. I'm talking about anglers from 20 countries to compete for the World Championship of kayak fishing. You know, I got with a friend of mine,
Keaton Oaf, strategic development at Hobie Cat. I get to plan new marketing ideas, concepts, venues, one of which is the Hobie Fishing Worlds. The thing about the Hobie Fishing Worlds is it started as a small concept. We actively began in 2010 with maybe 30 guys. And this event has grown and grown, and sponsor support has grown and grown. And we went from cooking hot dogs in the back of our trucks to giving the anglers full spreads. We're able to treat the anglers really, really good. It's a premier event in kayak fishing. There's nothing else like it. And we love that idea that we can, you know, with our partners, can give them an experience they'll get nowhere else in the world. Mike called me, he's like, man, he goes, we want to come film at the Worlds. And I'm thinking, that's cool if it happens.
I made my way south all the way to the very bottom of Louisiana. I call it the end of the world because I think you're gonna fall off the end of the world when you get down here. The plan was to fish in the marsh for the same 3 species that the competitors in Hobie World 6 are fishing for: redfish, trout, and the elusive flounder. And that was going to be our game plan for this show, and try to catch all 3 species. We had some definitely things pop up that was going to make the fishing a challenge. You know, the one was the weather. And of course, the week before we got here, it was 70 degrees, mild and stable. As we get here, the temperature, air temperatures at night gone down to the 40s, the water temperature making a rapid fall, and all those things we knew were gonna hurt the fishing conditions. You know, on top of that, another big issue for us was the wind. And the wind forecasts were predicted to blow anywhere from 10 to 30 miles an hour. Man, I can tell you, in a tournament in my big bass boat, a 20-mile-an-hour wind is tough. And now we're in a kayak, and it was gonna make it even more challenging. You know, the one nice thing about this shoot at Hobie Worlds is we've got 2 days to fish instead of 1. So we decide that we're gonna utilize both days and see what happens with the fishing.
Nice.
Woo! Woo! Oh, baby. Woo! Look at that fish! Woo!
Big fish of the trip so far. Nice fish, man.
You know, I meet Keaton at the ramp right where Hobie Worlds is launching. When I pull up, oh my gosh, the flags are sideways. I mean, the wind's blowing so bad, literally it's blowing me across the parking lot. We decide that instead of launching, we're gonna take a couple hours. The Hobie factory installation team is gonna do a Pimp My Kayak. Man, I'm so stoked because even though I've been kayaking for a couple years, I'm still not an expert at this. was like watching a NASCAR pit crew put this equipment on. I asked for a Pimp My Ride episode and you gave it to me.
Yep, we did it all.
Go over some of this stuff and tell me about some of the upgrades I got on the boat now.
First of all, gave you the awesome Mirage Drive 180. So what you can do now is you can go in reverse. Pull this pulley right here. That's reverse.
Oh my God.
And that's forward. So now you're hooked up with that. You're gonna be able to do all sorts of things. You can back out from a grass line. You can cover, flats a lot better. And you get the same amount of efficiency with a shorter fin. So you're gonna be out there catching a lot more fish.
That's a
for
game
sure.
changer.
Absolutely.
That's a game changer.
The next thing we did is we put on your Lowrance 7 Ti, put the total scan transducer on. So now you can use your side scan just like you would on a boat on your kayak.
And I know for sure that's gonna help me catch more fish, knowing the bottom hardness, knowing the depth.
So we got some camera mounts here for you because we know you like to
Filming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Filming on your own, you're by
you gotta
yourself?
get the big fish on film.
Yeah.
We got the Power Pull Micro on the back.
Yes, yes.
So with just 2 touches of your fob, you'll be able to go up and down.
Yeah.
Just like a power pull on a boat, you can stop yourself, you can, anchor yourself and fish whatever you need to do stationary.
And that's gonna be so key, I know it is. Not only with the wind, but in current. That's gonna be a critical piece of equipment. I cannot wait. I loved it before, I love it even more now. There you have it, my PA-14, imped out. Come on, let's go. We put the kayaks in, and we're gonna make a short run to a deep point just across from the launch. Wow, that's pretty cool. Whoa, what was that?
What did you see?
I'm getting attacked! He's trying to mate with me.
I'll leave you two alone. Mike, your porpoise just waked me. They believe we're family. That was interesting.
Come on, I'll race you. Come with me. Come with me. I am the fish whisperer.
It's just, on the water, you gotta get excited. You gotta get amped to chase dolphins. Guess what? We get to pull out a fishing rod.
Right here?
Right here, we're going that way. There we go. Fish on! Fish on! They call these a puppy drum. A puppy drum. I hope they get bigger than this, Mike.
Giant! 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 Oh no!
Yeah.
That one! Gotta be a little red.
Woohoo.
Dude, we hadn't been fishing 10 minutes and we've got 2 redfish in the boat. At this point, I'm thinking this is gonna be the world's easiest shoot I've ever had. We're gonna be done in a couple hours and that'll be that. And we can just chill out the rest of the time.
When you catch a fish on your second cast and your buddy does too, you're like, game on. And game was on for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes.
We decide to move on because we're not catching anything big.
Yeah? Is that the sound?
Go! A 2, maybe 3 pound class redfish. At that point, I'm pretty sad I lost the fish, but I'm not too worried because, dude, this is the premier saltwater place to fish in all the world. We're in southern Louisiana. This is gonna be easy. The minute you think it's gonna be easy, it never is. We really just start covering a lot of water. We're covering current banks, marsh guts, trenasses, mud flats, everything in between, and the fishing's really tough. Go! God! How the hell did he come off? That's the second one I lost. now I'm starting to worry a little bit because we're a couple hours in and I've got nothing to show but little tiny baby redfish. You know, I don't know. I like to place blame on people. And I'm thinking that the blame on that one is on the jig heads. Usually I'm using VMC jig heads, super sharp, but I forgot them, I left them in the truck, and I ended up using gas station jig heads. Sick of these jig heads. We need to switch jig heads. Gas station jig heads. You know what I think about gas station jig heads? Boo.
Here we go.
You know, finally Keaton catches another one in this pond, and it's a little bit better fish.
A little bit bigger.
We decide to make a move and go back to the point where we started. Giant! Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Dude, in like 20 casts, I think I caught 10 redfish, but they're all the little babies. It's a really good point, but I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call the spot the nursery. Because there's a lot of babies in the nursery. And just about when we have to head back, I hear Keaton and he's loaded up. Nice trout.
That's what we're here for.
That's a really nice trout.
Down here, Lafourche Parish.
Finally, a really important fish to save the day at that point. It provided awesome momentum going into day 2.
Got him! Got him! From the porch, bro!
It can only get better from here, right? A little bit of a warm front coming through. So I'm excited about day 2. And we decide to make an area change. We're gonna go right out of the ramp instead of left. And we're gonna start in this little pond. And the first place we pull onto is a bank that is loaded with oyster shells. God, it's oyster!
Oh!
But once again, these are all fish that are probably not even 2 pounds. Man, awesome fight, but not the fish we're looking for. You know, I decide to start with a different bait, and I go to a lure that's more of a shad swim bait style lure. Finally, I'm throwing it on a better jig head. I'm throwing it on a VMC jig head. This is a color that Keaton told me to put on.
We are in LSU territory.
Right?
From what I understand, LSU colors work really well in this Louisiana water.
Okay.
So, purple and yellow.
LSU, baby, woo! I put that thing on, and we continue to go down this shell bank. LSU! I like LSU! And I'm pretty used to now the kind of bites that I've been getting. And all of a sudden, I get this bite. Uh-oh, that's him! Oh, God, that's him! That's him! Oh, that's him! Please, God, please! Stay on there! It just totally spools me on the hook set. Oh, God. Stay on there. Oh, please, please stay on there, you sucker. Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, don't you do it. I think I got Godzilla on because this thing is spooling me. It's pulling drag. It's taking me all over the place. Oh, oh my God! Don't you do it. Get out of them shells. Get out of them shells. And all I keep thinking is, Mike, do not mess this up. Please do not mess this up. Oh, God. And after about 10 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating, after about 10 minutes of fighting, I finally tired down. Oh no! Oh no, he's caught on the bottom of the kayak.
On your drive, pop your drive, pop your drive.
Look at that thing!
What makes Mike Iaconelli scream?
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. I can barely stand still. Look at my hands. Oh my God, look at that thing. Wow. What a beautiful fish. What a beautiful fish. Man, I tell you, this is something special. You know, I'm a bass guy. A 2-pounder makes me shake. A 2-pounder makes me shake. And you come to Louisiana and catch one of the hardest fighting fish out of a kayak. Bro.
Well done.
God, I never thought I didn't think it was gonna happen.
What color?
I'll let you
The
say.
color!
Woo!
The color!
You know, to have that kind of fight, to literally be at the ground level, fighting that fish, looking at that fish, that's something I'm never gonna forget. Just won in victory over the famous Louisiana redfish, and I'm putting on my war paint. Oh, redfish slime, baby. Oh, even on my lips and my tongue. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, that was awesome! Oh God! I'm moving here.
First time I've got to fish with Mike. So I met him earlier in the year. You know, we've all known him for a long time. You get to watch him on TV. And you see his intensity on TV. You put him in a kayak and he loses it. Absolutely loses it. He scared the fish. That may have been the problem. The guy scared our fish.
Step up to Exmark, the mowers that have been beautifying landscapes for more than 3 decades. Featuring high-performance zero-turn riders like the new Exmark Radius, starting at just $49.99. With any Exmark, you'll get a great-looking cut in less time, every time. That's why landscape pros purchase Exmark 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand. So what are you waiting for? Put an Exmark to work on your property. Find your local dealer or request a free demo today at weareexmark.com.
We're still missing that elusive flounder. We keep fishing, and you know, I'm consciously now trying to fish my bait a little slower and a little deeper to finish our slam, to get that third species. You know, we keep fishing and the tide is really now starting to get bad for us. All morning we've had an outgoing tide, but now it's flattened out, it's starting to come back in. We can really feel the fishing compress. I look at my watch and we've only got like 30 minutes left to fish. We get out to the mouth of the main drag and I throw up in just a little bit of a gut, and all of a sudden I wind it and it was just like that bite from earlier. And I feel like I'm stuck. And all of a sudden it just peels drag. Zzz. Big one. And it's about the same size as the one I caught earlier. Whoa. Yeah. No, don't do that. Oh, God. Yeah. No! God! Pilings! Man, at that moment, I was really, really frustrated. To fish that hard, to have less than 30 minutes left to fish and to lose a big one like that, man, it's disheartening.
I really wanted to say something, but I was like, I'm not even gonna talk to him about this fish until he comes to me. And he comes back, and now we're game on again, and that fish bothered him. That fish will bother him for a while, which is what brings you back. Ike will be back.
I might have said a couple things I shouldn't have said, and I think I don't know, did I throw my rod in the water? Maybe I did, but I got it back. But you know what? That fish beat me, and that's part of the sport that you gotta love. You know, you're gonna lose some of those battles, you're gonna win some of those battles. That's what keeps me fishing. You know, we've got just a little bit time left to fish. I look over and I see Keaton hooked up with another big one, and he's fighting it. And I look and I can see the silver flash of a big trout. And it's another giant trout like he caught in day one. And he just about gets it to the boat, and that one comes off. You know, I don't ever like to end these things on a bad note. And you know, the moral of this one for me is some of the fish beat you, and you beat some of the other fish. And both of us did that in this trip. Hobie World 6, final day, day 3. Guys have come in, they're getting their kayaks off the water. We're gonna have a winner tonight announced for Hobie World 6.
This high wind, it was really tough.
You know, I gotta tell you, I filmed a lot of shows this year, but this one for me is very, very special. Not just because Hobie invited me to come to Hobie World 6, and I got to watch some of the competitors from all over the country, all over the world compete, but I learned a lot, and I got to do it in a kayak. I tell you, catching a big fish is special. Catching a big fish in a kayak is even more special. If you haven't tried it, get yourself a Hobie and try this fishing. For information on the product and gear used in the show, go to MikeIaconelli.com and follow me on my social feeds at Mike Iaconelli.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.